Meanwhile, let's carry on as if everything
Yeah, let's
is
fake it till
normal.
we make it.
Yeah, okay. Fake it till we make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, got the chat box up. Everything's good. Okay, so what you been doing for fun, Charles?
I have been working on this crutch. Let me close out my stun hanger. I got the pop out box. I can help you. Uh, I don't want. Okay, good. Yeah, so I been working on my crutch, and today I was mostly working on the getting the that wing saddle kind of a thing part of the getting that just right for the plans, that curvature, and I also have a F2. I was getting F2 to fit pretty good on this thing as well. It goes like that, and so just kind of working on that, all this kind of stuff. It's amazing how long it takes. I know Sparky just knocks his stuff out, but it takes me a long time.
Yeah, it's second nature to Sparky. He
Yeah.
just hacks it out and starts swinging the knife, and it falls on the table into an airplane. Hey,
Yeah.
Steve,
Hey guys,
how's it looking tonight?
pretty good.
Good. Everything looking sound okay?
Yeah, the sound's real good.
Good.
Oh,
Charles
good.
Charles' picture's a little blurry, but that might be his camera.
Yeah, I'm comparing our three, and Charles must just have a little lower bandwidth.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I'm in my. I'm actually using the. It's not wireless. It's the hardline. I'm using the RJ45
Yeah,
to my router. So I don't know if it's slower than my Wi-Fi or not.
yeah. Brad Bogner says, sounds great, little echo, but bearable. So, all right, we'll go with it then.
Cool.
So you're in your garage, huh, Charles?
Yeah, and it's let me see how hot it is. It's like 91 degrees in here.
All right, pretty
Yeah.
cool over there.
91 is cool.
Yeah, it is compared, well, for inside the house, no. But for outside, it is. Today, I
Yeah.
don't think it hit 100. It's been hitting 100 pretty much for the past week.
Yeah, same here. It was I don't know what it was today outside 'cause I wasn't outside very much, but yesterday it was 106, 105 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of humidity are y'all talking about over there?
You know what? It's not very much. I don't know what the actual percent is. I don't even bother to check that typically. It's not. I mean, I don't even would check it if I was sweating a lot, and it's
Yeah, ours varies wildly from one part of the day to the other. Yeah, at one time it'll be 55%, at another time it'll be 96%.
yeah. I don't even know what our humidity is, but it's not too bad. You know, it's I wish I could have gone flying today, but I wanted to make some more progress on this crutch here.
Yeah,
So
well, that's the most important part. So
yeah,
be
it
sure
is.
and take your time and get it right.
Yeah, this is my first time gonna. I'm actually gonna deliberately put negative incidence. I'm gonna put a little bit downward thrust in it, so it's a little bit different for me.
Is that in the plans, or is that just something that you're going to improvise?
It's not in the plan, so I improvise it.
Sparky just joined us.
Hey, Sparky.
Hey man.
That's good.
Everything looking okay from your end, Sparky?
Yeah, looks good.
Good. I
I
got
see.
a little echo in the background, but don't know where that's coming from.
I see you figured it out.
I did, yep. I was uh, nervous that I was not going to get it right, and I had a thunderstorm flashing and banging through all the windows around me, and I managed to get it first shot though. I was afraid the power was going to blip, but we're good.
Let me
All
ask
clear.
you, did it show you the live stream
Yep,
in Jitsi?
it
Okay,
did.
good.
Yep, just like you predicted it would. So it knows me now.
So, Sparky, what is this about you wanting to play the piano?
I'm thinking about playing the piano. I've been watching these YouTube videos. This guy playing boogie woogie over in London. I've always wanted to play the piano. I can't play anything.
If you like boogie woogie, you should listen to Commander Cody. He's one of my favorite boogie woogie piano players.
Does he teach?
No, just 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. The early stuff
Brandon.
called Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen.
Brandon teaches. This guy I'm looking at.
Yeah. Well, good. Maybe you'll come up with some hidden talent that you didn't know you had. I've always been a great music appreciator, but never known how to play a damn thing except for drums.
What are you building, Charles?
Working on my crutch.
Still?
I know.
Oh,
I bet you got the second hour of your Tucker, right? You probably already finished what I'm still working on.
No. What do you got there, Steve?
A Yamaha keyboard. You want it?
Yeah. How much?
Free. I was going to give it to Goodwill this week.
I'll bring it to FCM, please.
All right.
that
It doesn't
sounds
have
like
a
a lucky
stand. Though.
strike.
It doesn't have a what?
A stand.
That's all right.
Sparky's a fabricator.
Is that 88 keys?
No, I don't know. It's the hell. I can count them.
Yeah, please, because
I
88
think it's 77 or something like that.
No, but it's either 88 or 61. That's cool. That's great.
Who played that in your house, Steve?
Samantha. Now you messed up my count.
Let him count.
I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm good real quick.
Jim Vigani. Hey, Jim.
Hey there, how you doing, guys?
We're doing good.
well.
Welcome.
Yeah, just checking in a little bit. I was doing some motor stuff, trying to figure out what my next motor is going to be.
Tell me you're an IC guy, not an electric guy.
I'm electric, and I do both actually.
That's all right.
I went to Brodax. When I got back at the control line, I was all electric, and then I hooked up with the Middlesex guys. And when I went to Brodax, I had one electric and 10 gas planes.
Uh-huh.
But I like both.
61?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool.
So, what's happening tonight?
Not much. We're just getting started. Tonight was the first time I soloed with starting the show with our new software. So tried that out, and it all went well. Everybody's here ready to chat and talk about airplanes, so I must have done it.
The check-in was easy. I just clicked on it, and here we are.
Excellent. And I
appreciate it, Steve.
Pardon me?
I appreciate it. That saves me from having to order one.
Well, what it is that Samantha played, and when I got that, her teacher, whatever, said that was enough when you're first learning because you don't get all the,
Right.
I don't know, how much, where you got highs and lows or whatever.
88 keys is
Yeah.
normal piano.
But she was learning to play with both hands and all that kind of stuff. Was doing pretty good. But I only got her one night a week and then every other weekend. So we ended up starting flying. So it was either practicing or flying or taking her lessons on the weekends or going to whatever. So she gave up.
That got a headphone jack?
I think it does. Let me see what all it has
Yeah,
on it.
I'm sure it does.
I don't want to drive the neighbors crazy. That's
Oh, there you go. It's got to have a jack on it.
Oh yeah, they
It's got,
don't
all
make
kinds
it.
of, it's got like a big hole though.
all right.
Yeah,
And it's got like a thing for a TV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a ground that goes in. I don't know what kind of jacks them are for.
That's probably old stuff.
I think that can go out to like other speakers and stuff like that. Let me get my glasses and stuff, and I'll find out what it is.
Doesn't matter.
Well, wait. Hey, Sparky, I got a technical question for you. When you do your wings, what size do you keep the inboard and outboard flap size the same?
No. No, the outboard flap is bigger.
About you make it longer or wider?
I make it wider at the tip. It's the same width at the root, but at the tip you add 1/4 inch.
Okay, that's what I did on my new design. I was just checking to see. It's cool.
So you make the outboard. No, you make the
Outboard
inboard
flap.
flap with more area than the outboard flap.
So the outboard flap is bigger, actually.
Yeah, it's got a place for headphones, sustain, and a MIDI in and out, whatever MIDI's for.
The sustain is the pedal. That's all right. That's great. Thank you. You're going to FCM, right?
I don't know. I paid $280 or something like this for this thing.
You're going to FCM, right?
Yeah, yep. That's why I offered it to you. Because it's so weird. Because with Samantha moving out and getting rid of all of her stuff, she's like, well, I ain't never going to play it again. So she goes, you might as well just give it to Goodwill. I'm like, all right.
That helps me out. And the stand is no big deal. I'll just put it right here on the table.
Yeah, there's a place under it. It looks like it's like an X folding thing that, it sets on. Just
I'll get the model number and see if they got a stand on Amazon.
Yeah, but it's all there. It will run off batteries if you didn't have a power out. Just in case your power went out again for like 2 or 3 days, you want to sit around and play. You had to put batteries in it, but
I got an inverter.
I'm just joking with you.
Yeah, back in my days when we used to play with CB radios, and a lot of us still had tube radios. And I was behind everybody else financially. So I had old equipment with tubes in it, and I'd ride around with a tube CV on the front seat of my car with an inverter. But we didn't call them inverters back then. We called it a multi-vibrator. And I guess maybe inverter is the solid state version of a multi-vibrator.
Could
Heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either, but could be. Now, it was so weird, though, because I've been watching your build, and you said that, and I'm like, well, damn. I got this in her bedroom, getting ready for all this stuff to go to Goodwill, and you say you're going to buy one. If you like it and stuff, you can always buy a full-size board or, keyboard or whatever. But
I know nothing. So I was going to buy the 88 because, I always, if you're going to buy something, buy the full thing. Don't buy half a thing. But to learn how to play, 61 will be fine.
yeah, and then when you get better, then you can go to the 88.
Yesterday for the first time in a long time. My physical therapy guy that's coming and rehabilitating my hips showed up yesterday afternoon, and he had told me before he wanted to see me walking outside. So I found a reason to go out to the car because the freezer's out there. I needed some box of sausage biscuits, and I needed some air tool oil to fix my razor with. And I figured, okay, we'll walk out there because he's been real interested in airplanes. But like a lot of people, when you try to describe what you're doing when you fly a control on an airplane, you just kind of get baffled stares and no real understanding. And so we walked out there yesterday and puttered around the shop, and I gave him the nickel tour, and he was amazed at how big the planes were. He had seen a couple on YouTube me flying the little Satan and that kind of thing. But to see how pretty the planes were and how big they were was just amazing. So I always enjoy giving somebody a tour of the shop. And then they always ask me what happens when you crash, and so I escort them over to the bone room. That's what I call it. I got a sign over it. Actually, it says the bone yard. That's where my new wood and grocery bagged airplanes are. So I showed him what a plane looks like after it hits the pavement at Huntersville, and had a good time around the shop. That kind of inspired me because I got my little Hyper Viper cafe project on the table out there, and need to get back to it. I got it all doped up with clear and ready to glue together and paint. So anyway, it sure was nice to get out in the shop for a change.
I bought a case of that primer, Jim.
You got that?
Yeah, $148.
Yeah, we got ours too. We got the case. Al took 4 cans. I took 8 cans.
I got 12 cans for $148, and John bought 6 of them.
Yeah, that's not bad. It is what it is.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's the same stuff as the EC 540, but it's 3 times the cost.
But I think it there's more filler in it. I think it seems like to me it's a little bit thicker
Than the original.
than the 540. Yeah,
The original 540.
yeah, the original 540. Yeah, I still have. I think I have 4 cans of that left.
Thicker's probably okay as long as you sand it all off. You know,
Oh yeah,
back down
it's
to where the
covered
frame
here.
built.
Yeah, you don't need as much. It works fine. It sands off real easy.
Yeah,
It doesn't dry as fast though.
that's what I heard. Yeah, you probably said that
So
earlier.
I think that's because of the thickness, but it's still pretty fast drying.
Yeah, it's the xylene in it that makes it dry.
Yeah, no, I liked it. So I'm building my new fuselage now. I'm building one of these. It's a round fuselage. What a pain. But
What airplane is it?
it's my own design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm doing the Tucker special.
yeah. I've been watching that a little bit.
I was gonna do something tonight, but I'm kind of burnt out. I'll wait till Monday,
Yeah, I was gonna go downstairs tonight a little bit too, but
or maybe Tuesday. I'll do it on the off nights if the hangout's not on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know my plane, my profile. I've been bringing it to Brodak, the red, white, and black one, the profile.
Yeah.
The Stalker. The plane I built now is essentially that plane, full fuselage and another 70 inches of wing area. So
I tried to shoot a coat of clear on my profile Thursday, but the humidity was up and I didn't have any retarder. So tomorrow I'm going to go over John's and we're going to heat the garage to burn the humidity out of the garage, shoot it with a retarder.
Yeah, I don't know what it's been like there, but here in the mornings it's just cool and so much humidity that everything is just wet. The grass, your vehicles.
91% this morning.
Yeah.
it's been humid here and raining and
At 91%, it might as well rain and let the humidity out of the sky.
yeah, I know. No, geez. So other than that, I went flying today. Got 6 flights in.
That sounds like a good day flying.
It was a beautiful
Very
day.
good.
It was a little overcast, so the sun wasn't out too much. About 3 mile an hour wind. It was perfect
Oh, that's nice.
for a
Well,
change.
any less wind than that's not enough, really.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, I know that. That's was crazy. So
Did you, Rusty, did you check the thing everybody follows me?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been leaving it on tile since nobody's holding anything up to show. If I've missed anything except for Steve's keyboard, then I apologize. But yeah, that's how I got it.
Yeah, because that's what it shows in YouTube. That's good.
Right now, when whoever's talking or making noise in the mic, they've got a blue frame around their picture. Is it making that big when they talk on YouTube, or is it staying in frame mode?
stays in the frame mode because we're following whatever you see.
Unless I click it up. Okay.
Yeah, once you click me or whatever, now I can see myself at the regular brightness, but before I was real dark to myself. Everybody else was bright, but
That's
If I
'cause you had
hover my
your
mouse
arrow
over,
you had
if
your
I hover
arrow.
my mouse over a picture, it
Honestly,
gets
one at a time. You had your arrow over the box.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, Steve, how'd you make it out with that new wing you got?
That one from
Trayon.
Trayon. I haven't did much with it. We were working on Samantha's her other airplane and stuff like that, so I haven't did much with it. But hopefully here pretty soon I'm gonna start playing with it some more.
I thought you were gonna have it ready for the team trials.
I don't have a fuselage or anything.
Uh,
I just kind of got it to see how it was done and work on seeing what paint, if we got a bunch of the watercolor or not watercolor, water-based paint.
water-based, yeah. The auto paint.
See how that works.
Is that the auto?
No, this is from Hobby Lobby. Createx.
Oh yeah, Createx. Yeah, I've used that. It's
So I
acrylic.
kind of want to see how that works out and stuff like that. It's just more experimenting. I hate to do a lot of it on a real expensive wing or whatever.
Yeah, you can always sand it off. That sands off. That's a Createx. That's the airbrush paint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an acrylic. Okay. I've used that.
Well, they told me not to do too much sanding on these wings because the carbon fiber is so thin that you can go through it really easy.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, well, that'll be something to play with. So if I would mess it up or something, I can try to fix it or whatever. But
I bought a sheet of that, a carbo weave for my next wing. I'm going to build it. I'm going to put the carbon fiber on the outside. I like that carbo weave.
oh, okay.
It's expensive though. Jesus. I think a sheet was $200 some dollars.
Well, that's what, they sold them to me for the price of the carbon fiber in them, not the hardware or anything else. They said that just in the two wings and the tail and the nose was about $150 worth of carbon fiber.
Yeah, I know. That's the other problem with carbon fiber. So it's very expensive.
But just give me something to play with and stuff like that.
Yeah, he did a really good job on designing that construction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to come up with a composite wing that you don't have to build molds for. So
Okay. Yeah.
so the average person can build it. That's what I got a couple things in the works. I've been using the one that I took D Rice's method. I don't know if you've seen it. He published it back in 2011 in Flying Models.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Actually, let me run down and get the wing. I'll show you. Hang on.
So Sparky, were you saying if I hover the mouse over somebody's frame like I'm over Jim's now, it makes it dark?
Yeah.
When you see it?
I
Okay,
can't.
I'll watch out for that.
No, you can't see it unless you click on it.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying now. I had you just bump my mouse and it goes up on me, then I go dark.
Right.
Yeah.
And it says my name and it says me.
But when I do it, it makes it dark on YouTube.
No, it does not.
It doesn't? Okay.
No. If you click on somebody, I don't think it does. I don't know.
I'm hovering over Steve and got him grayed out now. So if you're not seeing that, then we're good.
Well, I'm not watching it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not.
No, that's true. That's true. We'll see.
Here's the new wing here. Here's the inside of it. See?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
How much does that weigh?
this here ready? It's ready for color. Well, I'm going to put one more coat of silver, but it's about, I don't know, 6.5 ounces.
Wow.
It's all primed and you know, we have the glass are primed and everything ready, just ready for color.
My Junar wing without the bell crank in it and without the, well, let's see. Yeah, the Junar, just the wing without the bell crank is 5 ounces. The whole thing.
That's no paint though, right?
Well, it's not painted or covered.
Yeah,
Just the wood.
this is all primed and everything. It's been
The
sanded.
woodwork. Well, finished the wing with the flaps, the bell crank, the hinges, the covering, and 3 coats of dope is 12 ounces.
Yeah,
The whole
okay.
thing finished.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's this is maybe a slightly heavier than that.
It'll be, if you say that's 6, you got 6, 7, 8. It's 6 is 12. Is that the wing tip on it too? No.
Oh yeah, wingtip boxes in it, everything's in it.
Is the tip on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Landing gear mounts, everything.
Okay, so you got 6 and 6 is 12 plus 2 ounces minimum for flaps, 12, 13, 14. Ounce for the horn, that's 15, and an ounce for the bell crank, that's 16 ounces. So you're 4 ounces heavier than what I am.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm trying to make airplanes in the low 60s or under 60 ounces.
Yeah. So, but anyway, should be all right.
Good.
Should be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Because the Junar that I did with the foam wing, that wing was 15 ounces covered, ready to paint with the flaps on it and everything, and that airplane came out 60. So we'll see what happens.
I'm hopefully going to save some weight on the stab. I'm not the stab, the fuselage. Fuselage. It's a mold. It's going to be a molded fuselage.
Got to keep that at 6 ounces.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. Somewhere around 6.5 ounces is what I figure. I got my stab is all built. Stab and elevator. They're all built.
How much do they weigh?
Right now, without the horn on, it's 2 1/4.
So the horn with the horn is how much?
The horn's about, I don't know, not even half an ounce.
So you 3 ounces. That's pretty much standard with what the deal is. 3 ounces on a stab and elevator with the horn and hinges. Can't make them any lighter.
Yeah, otherwise they'll break.
Well, I've tried, make them lighter. I think I had one at 2.5 ounces, but it was so flimsy, it was no good.
Yeah, I know.
So my little half-A project, I've got fabric hinges on the stab on the elevator, and it's real thin stuff. I think it's the stuff Rodak sells, and it's very neat, very thin, and you can hardly tell they're there. But right now, it's just got a couple of coats of clear dope on it. And I was wondering, is there a good way to hide those so you can't tell they're there once you get the rest of the finish on? Will they disappear under the dope?
I've never had the cloth hinges fully disappear, but if you put some carbon fiber veil on it.
That's a good idea.
And you
I got plenty of that.
most of the carbon fiber on the hinge off, and then
Put the hinges under the covering.
But I've never seen a cloth hinge that's truly invisible,
Completely hidden. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I just thought it was a good lot. It'd be nice to do. But I got plenty of carbon veil. I'll put a strip of that across them, and I probably only do it on the pretty side.
I have one. I built a Lancer. Remember the Lancer, the combat wing, the combat plane.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
Lancer. Yeah, I built one of those with, and I did cloth hinges on it and carbon fibered the veil, and it came out really nice, really nice. And you can hardly see the hinges, but you can still see them if you look close.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to use cloth hinges on my Tucker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it as close to original as possible, less the engine.
See, I always
Are you going to go to any extra effort to hide those, Sparky, to hide those hinges?
Under the covering, that's all.
Yeah.
I kind of always liked the pink hinges that you could, they were filled, but you could still see that they were, underneath the paint.
Yeah.
Kind of like a real airplane when they did the pinking on
the ribs.
Yeah, on the ribs and the outside, reinforcement, stuff like that. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a pain though, because sometimes the threads will come off on the pinking, and then and trying to get everything lined up.
And then the last one I didn't start. I just stuck them all on there, and you could see that where I cut them, the lines didn't line up across the points. I had points here and there, and all staggered, and it looked like it really did. And it was pissed me off.
A lot of the old-time planes, they used to make a piano hinge. A lot of the old timers did that. I have a plane somebody gave me from the 40s. I still have it, and it has a piano hinge. It makes a piano hinge with the tubing. I use aluminum tubing, and yeah, that looks nice. I use that a lot.
That's what I actually did on my little Satan Half A. I ran the smallest piece of carbon fiber tube I could find across the back and put a thin piece of piano wire through it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, except I'll use aluminum tube, cut it in depends how big this thing is. Cut it maybe a 3/4 inch or 1 inch pieces.
Yeah.
And you just alternate it. Make a piano hinge. You put a little tiny wire or carbon fiber.
Oh, yeah, alternating. Okay. Yeah.
That works good. If you do it right, it's nice and loose. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it should be. I know it should be zero friction.
How do you hold it in the wing though? You just glue it?
Well, I do on the stab. I use it for stabbing an elevator mostly. And I make a little groove. You can put it on something as thin as 1/8 of an inch. I just take scribe a groove in it, and I glue them in with CA with just a drop of CA. You make sure the wire's not in it when you do that. And then I take a piece of polyspan and I wrap it around it and put it on with Sigment or Ambroid.
Oh, okay.
So to make it on, and after you sand it, and then you put that on, it looks like it disappears. I mean, you can't see the polyspan at all when you're done.
Oh, okay.
It came out really nice though. It comes out really nice. So.
Thanks for the tips and ideas.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff about building, coming up with different ways of doing things.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff about this show is seeing how everybody else does things to get the same job done, but get their different ways. So
yeah,
come up with different ideas.
I'll tell you, the one thing is that not to use cloth hinges if you want them to hide it all over open bay flaps.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. I did one of them, Tom Morris, I can't think what kind of wings he calls that.
Millennium wings?
Yeah, the Millennium wings. And it's not bad on the wing part because it has the piece of 1 inch going across. But where you lay the hinge in, it comes across the damn rib and then the part of the silk span.
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
It's hell to hide. I mean, I'm still screwing around with it. I quit on the airplane because it's in primer now, but once I hit it with primer, it's like, man, do they look like crap.
You quit because it just kept getting uglier and uglier, huh?
Yeah. I figure I might as well just finish it, and I crash everything anyway, so it ain't gonna last that long.
Yeah. I always get a picture of it before I fly it the first time because that's about the last time it's going to be pretty, and then I wear my scars and repairs like badges of honor.
Yeah, I made my own hinges for my new stunt plane. Although I got a second generation. Let me go get that. I can show you that. It's pretty cool.
So, Charles, what made you build another Strega?
Well, I had the most success with I had a Strega. I flew 2 or 3 years ago at the state, and I got 3rd place. it was an ARF, and that's the best I've done. I got like 512 points there, and I just said, you know what? Maybe I'm just well suited for the Strega. I don't know. So I thought um, that I would do that, and plus I already have a thanks to Kevin McElroy, I have a Strega Arc and a Strega kit. So I'm just going to I'm going to build the fuselage, and then I'm going to put the bell crank in the wing and use the arc wing so I can get BOM points. I'm hoping to do this relatively quick. So that's really the big motivation. I can get something in the air, get BOM, and uh, and get credit for building it. So
You got to peel all the covering then? You got to off the
no,
wing?
it's an I have an arc and a kit.
Right.
So the arc is all in the nude. No,
ARC.
Oh, arc. Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'm just going to take the wing out of that, and I'm going to go and just remove it. I was going to cut out half the ribs, and then thin the ribs as much as I can, and take out and cut off the wing tips and make some hollow block tips, and try to take out as much weight as I possibly can.
Make sure that you detail glue that wing because they use hot glue and not CA.
They use hot glue on the wing also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks
my
for the-
Oriental wing was hot glued together. I remember. I hadn't had many ARFs, but that was one of them, and it was hot glued. Yeah,
Wow.
I think the crutch was hot glued.
Yeah.
So here's my new stab. And so what I made some little squares in here,
Yeah.
and I made a couple of these. I made
Hold it up. I can't see it.
Okay. Yeah.
and they just slide into they slide in like this. They'll be pinned when it's done.
Oh, then you just slide a music wire through it.
Well, no, and I have on the elevator. I have a little aluminum tubing on the end through it. I don't know if you can see the aluminum tubing.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
and that goes on. And I have a piece of carbon fiber.
when you hold stuff up, hold it long enough for the camera to get a lock on the focus.
Yeah, hang on. Let me move this to the right side.
That's similar to my hinge design.
Yeah, very similar. But I wanted removable surfaces.
Don't use carbon fiber as the hinge pin, though.
Now, why was that?
It won't last long.
No, even
No.
with electric,
Yeah, you're moving it up and down, rubbing back and forth. It'll eat right through it.
Yeah, it's strong in a lot of directions, but
It's strong with the glue, and there's no glue on that.
Mike, somebody just joined us. Let's see, who was that?
That's Lanky.
It's Mike Lunky. Hey, Mike, we'll be back down to size in a minute. And where'd Mike go? Oh, there he is. They disappear on here. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Well, I've been better, that's for sure.
What's wrong?
My nephew OD'd on fentanyl this morning and killed himself.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
oh, Jesus.
Up there in here in Michigan?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
terrible.
I'm flying out Sunday night. Visitation's Monday, and then the funeral's on Tuesday.
How old
Was it?
30 years old,
Oh,
Mhm.
geez.
young man.
It probably was not prescribed, was it?
No, man, he was shooting it.
Oh,
Thought he
good
was,
God.
thought he
Yeah,
was
just,
shooting heroin. He had heroin laced with fentanyl,
oh,
and it killed him.
Yeah, it just quietly makes you stop breathing. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's awful.
Yeah, he'd hit some rough patches in his 20s and made some bad decisions, but I just found out he had been in some trouble and was supposed to take a piss test once a month. He had his piss test yesterday, and he went out to fucking celebrate tonight or last night, and then OD'd. Fucking loser. So
Well, I tell you,
anyway,
they get hooked on that stuff. It's unbelievable.
yeah, we had no idea. Nobody in the family knew. You know, he had a 9-year-old kid, a 3-year-old boy, and a baby on the way.
Oh God, that's even worse. Jeez.
Yeah, and the
Um,
3-year-old found him this
Oh
morning.
wow, horrible.
So,
Yeah, they were
yeah,
saying there in the Detroit area, it was so bad that these junkies are shooting up at the hospital.
this was down in Monroe. He
Oh,
lives
okay.
over, so, but I don't know.
Well,
But,
they were saying Detroit area that these people were, because they didn't know if they were getting shit that was laced with fentanyl and all this, and so they were actually going to the hospital, shooting up in the bathroom. If they made it out, they just left. They dropped over. Someone found them and hit them into the emergency room fast enough. I'm like, oh
yeah,
my
I'll be
God.
honest. I didn't know a lot about that fentanyl shit. I did a little research. Man, that
yeah,
is it's a lot of people.
I've
Killing a lot of
I've been using it for pain management for 18 years now, but it's under
really.
prescription. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I don't use it any other way than how it's prescribed because if you run out, you'll be in withdrawals and they won't sell it to you until the date comes up. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to get it on the street, and I wouldn't even try.
I
It's
wouldn't
just
even.
not
I mean,
in.
who do you go ask for that shit? I
I
mean,
have
I
no
have
idea.
no. But anyway, all right. I didn't mean to bring you guys
Yeah,
down.
that's okay. Yeah, I didn't want to say I don't want to minimize your problems, but yeah, we
No,
can move on now. So
move
So
on.
has Sam thought about a plane at all?
What's
Yeah, a
that?
little bit.
No.
We went and flew tonight. I got him right off the school bus, and we went out to get in some flights because we're going to Paducah Sunday morning. We're just gonna drive in super early Sunday to fly Panther stunt. So we went out and did a little practice, and he was talking about it on the way out there. He was thinking like he mentioned a profile vector.
What I was thinking is, and you can, it's up to him what he wants. I can build, but like a Nobler or a Oriental. That's what we did for Samantha's next good plane because Saturday she flew Classic, Sunday she
Yeah.
flew Pampa. And that worked out real good, just getting into the contest mode and concentrating. And
I think an Oriental would be perfect because then that eliminates the size issue we've been having with the bigger airplanes. You know.
right, the Oriental and the Nobler are about the same size. I got both. So
I think
John
Yeah.
Jenkins Oriental
think
profile
about
flies
building
great.
think about building a Cavalier. People I've talked to, I just bought one. I haven't built it yet, but the people I talked to and flown them, they said they fly really good in the wind.
They do. My flying buddy Wayne Robinson got several of them from Tom Morris and evaluated them for him, and those were magnificent flying airplanes. He flew them with props turning in both directions, and gave Tom information back on it, and he loves them. He still takes them out to fly when he goes.
And they qualify for Classic also.
yeah,
There's a
but
profile.
we're trying to
What?
Yeah,
come with a smaller wingspan, smaller fuselage, keep it light because he's only 10.
Yeah, but I mean, they're very light. They come out in the 30 ounces, 38. They're really light
Yeah.
airplanes.
Is that a 46 sized airplane?
I
No,
think it's more of a 40 or a 35
yeah,
size, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah. It's a smaller plane. It's the same. It's a like the nobler size and stuff like that.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that would be fine. We're just he's struggling trying to fly 46 size planes that are on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
heavier side. He gets tired, and you know his arms are like this big around, man. He can't hold on to the
Yeah,
damn
I know.
things. That's his complaint, you know. So,
Yeah,
That's
mine,
that's too
but
much.
yeah,
But
those are. I think those are all viable options, Steve.
Yeah, let him see what he likes the looks of. You know, maybe get on the Brodak, look at the Nobler, look at the.
if you're looking for a smaller plane that flies pretty well, get that Peacemaker. The little, it's a 25 size.
Okay.
that looks kind of like that's a
That's a flight
trike.
streak.
It's got trike gear on it, doesn't it?
No. It looks like a flight streak.
Yeah, so
Oh, I thought it
this is
looked like
a
a
full,
Pathfinder.
a full
Okay.
fuse flight streak.
Yeah, but small. It's small. It was made for like a 15, 20, and I
Yeah.
think Carl Schaefer flies one with a Brodak 25 on it.
I
Okay.
got one of the originals, and it called for a Greenhead 35S.
On the Peacemaker?
Yeah. I got the kit here someplace around.
Yeah, I have one downstairs I bought, an old one.
Now,
I've been looking to see. I was going to put I have a.
now John Jenkins built a profile Oriental that he's been really loving flying. He flies it regularly. And I don't know what size that is, but I'm guessing it would probably fly with a 35 or a 40.
Yeah, I have one with a Brodak 40 in it, but I mean LA 40, but it flies nicely, but it's not a real good wind airplane because it's
Yeah.
a four-door wing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let him pick out what he likes, the looks of,
Okay.
and let me
Steve,
know.
I've got lots of engine choice too, man. I've got some 40s that have been reworked. I've got 46s that have been reworked. I've got Thunder Tiger 36s. I've got 2 Aero Tigers. So, I mean, I've got some engines if we need to throw that to the cause,
You got a Brodak 40?
I do not have a Brodak 40. Oh, Sparky wants to talk.
Okay, Sparky, you have the stage.
Rusty, they're complaining about the view of the YouTube. You might want to untile it so it switches back and forth
I'll try that.
because the pictures are getting really small on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. As people come in, it does get smaller. Okay. We'll try that and see how they like it. YouTubers out there, let me know what you think.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
better. It was actually doing that on my phone. It started tiling up and my whole phone.
Yeah. Oh, I bet phones are terrible. That's like looking through a keyhole at the internet. So,
it's all right. I got my magnifiers on.
Well, yeah, let him pick out what he wants for a Christmas present, and I'll build it up for him. It ain't gonna be. It's not gonna be his last airplane. It's gonna just be something he likes, and
Yeah, sure. No, I
instead of getting hand me down, a lot of stuff is hand me down, and once I get it built up, then we'll let him pick colors and let him draw a picture of how he wants covering on it, stuff like that.
That's awesome, Steve. It's awesome. Very generous. Thank you. Thank you.
Before I move on and welcome Trey, I wanted to ask Jim, did you have more you wanted to show us about that hinge before we move on?
That's what it looks like.
Hold it up. Yeah, there you go.
There it goes.
Okay. So that's got one piece of wire that runs all the way through.
Yeah, on both sides because I want them removable.
Yeah.
That's
okay. That's nice and neat.
Nice and loose.
Why do you want to remove it, Jim?
What's that?
Why do you want to remove it?
So I can change it if it's still not the right size.
That was always
more or less elevator on it. Yeah.
Right. That's what I always said. It's like, I like Sparky's hinges because you could do the same thing with that. And if you want a wider elevator on the outside or a little less area or a little more elevator to flap ratio or whatever, once you got it glued onto an airplane, it's like, okay, I got to build a whole new airplane.
Well,
where, you know,
You could do like I did on my Monado and just cut them off, put bigger ones on.
right.
yeah,
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do that too. But I was thinking that until you really figure out what you like now with a Monado, if you build any more of them, you'd know how to, where to set that at. But until that point, I think that, that type of hinge like Jim has, or you can just bang, put it on, pull it off, and
I mean, would it be too heavy to just add a sliver of balsa on the trailing edge, reshape it, and finish the little area if you like it,
no, it's
Change
not
it.
heavy.
or even tape it on?
I just like things I can take apart. I figure if I can take it apart, I can put it back together easy. I just like
It's
that.
easier to finish too that way.
yeah.
Yeah, easier to finish.
Okay, that's cool.
Tryon, are you
I'm
coming to Duca?
No, I don't have time for that.
No.
I wish I was.
You got that wing cradle made up, or that new mold for the wing yet, or?
No, I just got the material a couple of days ago, and but I've, as you know, I finished the horizontal molds, and I want to finish all the parts for them,
Oh, okay.
and then I'm gonna move to the wing too. So yeah,
So
I
Trent,
might.
your new mold's aluminum?
The horizontal, yes. The wing is gonna be still the tooling board. The for the size of plank I need, then to buy the stuff out of aluminum, it's just a few good $1,000.
Yeah, I know. If you
Yeah.
make a mistake.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we don't want to go there. So
Well,
yeah.
guys, have fun. I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get up early.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, Sparky.
Thanks.
All right, take it
Thanks
easy,
for
Sparky.
doing
Good night, Sparky. Good night.
Right.
Good night.
it. Fair winds, tight lines. All
So,
right. Boss,
Have you started your new airplane?
what'd you say, Charles?
I was just going to rib Mike Lonke. Has he started his new airplane yet?
No, I haven't. I've been too busy still fixing same shit, man.
I understand.
He's breaking so much stuff. He broke one tonight, man. Well, we had all kinds of problems tonight, man. So the P40 that we bought or that we got from Dennis Admission, I put one of my Dixon 46s on it that Sam had crashed last year sometime or another. How the hell do I turn this thing around? There we go. This P40.
Oh, there you go.
So
I can
put this
highlight you.
46 on it. Nothing is loose. Okay, nothing's loose. And man, that engine was making so much noise. It flips over. It's got smooth compression. I don't feel anything weird in it. It's got a little bit of play on the front end, but not much. But it sounded like it was getting ready to blow the damn cylinder off the thing when we flew it tonight. First flight. And it went lean. It ran for 12 minutes on 4 ounces of fuel. So whatever that was. 12 minutes because I had the watch on it. We were trying to get the fuel load right because he was maybe going to fly this in Paducah Sunday. I don't know if the wheels were vibrating and that's what was making the noise. I mean,
The wheels on mine vibrate and make noise.
It was going like this. I'm going to try to recreate it. The engine sounded okay, but when it did it, it would go. And it was doing that on and off through the whole flight. And I couldn't figure it out. I brought Sam out to the circle, and I said, I said, go back out to the edge of the circle and see if you can see if the engine's moving around on it or something. I thought maybe the mounts were loose, and that's the problem we were having. But I don't know. I'm thinking it was the wheels. That's
yeah,
the only
it was the wheels.
But man, I'm telling you, I ain't never heard one that loud before.
We had that on that Oriental. If the engine would run away, something about the vibration of that would transfer into them wheels in the landing gear, and just sound awful.
Okay.
Yeah, they slide sideways in a landing gear, and because the vibration is sideways as well, they can enter in resonance, and then they go bang, 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 bang in both ends.
I
Yeah,
wonder if
it
I can
acted
just.
like speakers. I mean, loud. It was so loud that it was just hard to believe. But once we got the motor back down to the right RPM and stuff, it was fine.
Yeah, you get a
Yeah.
harmonic on something. Probably the wheels.
Well, it's that, or this engine is the one that was on the yellow and green checkmate that he smacked in at Brodax, and he did hit the paved part with it. It went straight in on the pavement. Um,
He
but
may
like
have
I
been.
said, the engine feels fine. It turns over very smooth. It's got lots of compression, and it doesn't feel like there's anything wrong with it. But could something have got bent in there?
The rod.
Yeah, yeah.
You had bend the
Okay.
rod by hitting it, forcing it down, but usually you'll see it in the back plate.
You'd have a power problem if it was the rod too, I think.
There was
It's
certainly no.
probably the wheels.
Okay. So we had that, and then I fixed the rectangulus that he smashed up at Canton. Tryon, you were there for that. I got that one fixed up, and he augured that damn thing in today on the vertical eights again. The vertical eights got him. He's just not making
God.
that little bit of up in the outside at the top, and he's cutting it too shallow, and so we got like 3 flights on this, and then he decided to try vertical eights, and he busted the shit out of this one. So
We,
I
sh-
hate that
we
he's
should
got
name
one.
him Smash.
no, let's not name him Smash. I don't want to stigmatize the poor kid. You know,
Yeah.
Captain Smash.
he's hit a barrier. You know, he just kind of hit some wall here where he's wrecking stuff, and we flew the Super Spider too. We put up a few flights on that today.
Oh, good.
That was one
Plane's
Dick
in
him
one
off
piece.
with him. Yeah, that one's in one piece. But it it doesn't turn real tight. Everything got to be real big with it. So he's not super comfortable with that one. I think what I'm going to do, just to eliminate any problem, I'm going to take this motor off the P40. I got 4 or 5 of the Dixon 46s in here laying around. I'm going to put a different engine on it and fly it again and see if we still have the same thing. And then I'll know that it's a vibration in the wheels, And I may go ahead and pull the head off this motor and pull the back plate off and see if there's anything that jumps out at me. But
I'll be back. I'm gonna cut some wood. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Right.
Okay.
Mike, with that Super Spider, you can move the push rod and give it a little more elevator.
dude, it's got so much elevator, it's crazy, man. It feels real nose heavy to me. Here, I'll show you how much throw it's got. Where are we at here? Let's see if I can do this with one hand. You guys can still hold the phone and do this.
It's got plenty of throw. I wonder if you're stalling it actually.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you try to turn it as tight as he's used to turning some of the other planes, it's waffling,
What's it weigh? What's it weigh?
I don't know. I'd have to put it on a scale, Jim, and I haven't done that. He was given this plane at the Nats from Dick Imhoff. So, and he flew it twice there, just fun flying. And today was the first time we took it out. He put 3 flights on it, stunning it, and he was uncomfortable with it because and I flew it too, and it felt nose heavy to me. It just had that feeling that it was real sluggish wanting to do anything, or if you try to turn anything too tight. If you did everything big with it, real big, it's fine,
Yeah, you got
With the risk of stating
like an
the
OS 35 or anything like that.
No, I've got, like I said, I've got some Aero Tigers and some Thunder Tiger 36s. I got some Dixon 46s. I got a couple of reworked LA 40s that run pretty good. There's a KMB 40 that's on there right now with a full muffler. So, and I don't know what those weigh. If those are heavy.
Oh, the things are heavy.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah. You need to knock the engine weight down there somehow.
You got an LA 25?
Well, no, it's a KMB 40.
I know. Can you try an LA 25? You have one?
Oh God, I don't think a 25 would fly this thing.
What's the wingspan?
Oh, you're gonna make me do everything, aren't you, Jim?
Well, I mean, you're trying to solve a problem here. You got to have data.
Yeah, I know, brother.
It's that I think it's 580 or something like that. They are
Oh, that big?
560. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
46-inch wingspan.
yeah, that's kind of big for 25.
10-inch cord all the way at the root and the
Okay,
tip.
So that's only 46 then, or 460.
Yeah, no, that 25 might hold. It depends how heavy it is.
Yeah. Even a 35 is going to get the job done on that.
Yeah, because the LA 25s will fly what we used to fly a Fox 35 with.
I'll go get the scale so we have all the info that we need.
Yeah, you're right. A LA 25 is a great swap for a Fox 35.
Best one is a an Inya 30 or Inya 35. Small case ones.
I sold my 30. I had one of the 30 SSs, and my buddy wanted it so bad I let it go.
Oh my God. Yeah, Inya 30 SS will turn an 11.4 prop with no problem.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I think, Steve, you have a better idea than what I had. As soon as you said this nose heavy, I was thinking about stating the obvious and say just add some tail weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 pounds.
Well, Samantha, if you ever see old things at Brodak, she has a plane called Sassy Sam, a bunch of different ones. And all that is a super spider with a different rudder and stuff and wingtips.
Yeah.
So
it's 3 pounds, guys. So it's 48 ounces.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and look what's on the tail. Already.
So put another one.
Yeah.
So put another one.
And then check that tail wheel out.
Well, that's a heavy duty tail wheel.
I'm not sure if it's gonna last.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we could. I mean, it certainly wasn't lacking for power. It had plenty of power. I think there's an 11.4 and 11.5 on here right now. And the engine runs fine. It runs good.
You're stalling it out. The wing loading on it, the wing loading on is 14.4. That's pretty high for that.
Okay. Well, you know what? I bet, man, if I bet an LA 46 would shave a couple ounces off it, and then I could probably get rid of that tail weight too. Right?
Yeah.
I can go way off a KMB 40 if you want, let you know what it weighs compared to LA.
Yeah, if you got one handy.
Yeah, I got to go down the basement. I'll be back. I'll let you know here in a minute.
Yeah, that KMB 40 got to be a couple ounces heavier than an LA 46, I would think, because the 46 is even lighter than the 40.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I think it's a 35 will be just fine on that plane.
I don't have a 35. You gonna overnight me one, so we'll have it for Sunday.
I don't have one either.
We're trying to solve this problem by 5 a.m. Sunday morning, man. It'd be nice if I could get a motor on there that'll fly it a little easier for him, and we can take this. Because, man, we're out of options, dude. I don't know. He might be flying a damn Ringmaster on Sunday. I might have to pull one of the Ringmasters down and let him fly one of those. Because he's been hard on the stunt ships this year, man. I mean, he's been busting everything. So
May I suggest maybe do some ground school with him before he attempts the eights, kind of like dry runs.
yeah, we do
So
that.
just go like that. Just hold like say Sam. Just finish it. Up, down, down. Hold it down. Give it a little extra down when you're right on the very top of it. Just a little extra down. Tuck it in, and then it's easy to finish it.
Well,
So,
yeah,
It was
yeah, of
hard
but
for
course.
if he's
me to decide, to learn where 90 degrees straight overhead was. I used to underestimate that when I was learning.
Yeah, actually, try to have him fly it behind his head a little bit to start with.
Yeah, I believe
yeah,
me, we talked about all that stuff, man. I definitely talked to him because he can listen. He can take a speed limit combat plane and do all that shit without crashing at
mm-hmm,
75 miles an hour. He can take a speed limit plane and do vertical
mm-hmm,
eights, overhead eights, clover. He can do squares. He does it all with a combat plane. Got lots of
mm-hmm,
line tension, and these stunt
mm-hmm.
planes, sometimes you get in the wrong spot, they get a little bit loose, and that's what's happening to him. They're getting a little bit loose on him, and he's doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, they do get loose.
They do. That's
Yeah,
been his death knell is getting loose, and then he gets coming straight down, and he doesn't know whether to pull out upright or inverted, and he just prongs them straight in. But it's okay.
yeah,
I don't
Yeah, well, we've
I
all
don't
done it.
beat him up for it. We just something's got to click with him. I think I need to put him back on the slow combat planes that I detuned for him and let him just fly the hell out of those things again and get his confidence back up.
So what do you think that can be engine with the can be muffler weighs?
Oh
Guess.
man, I'll bet it's 15 ounces, man.
12.
Is it really?
12 ounces. That's the same thing as a PA motor
That's a lot.
without a muffler.
Okay, because the LA is 8 and 9, right?
Yeah, 8 and then plus your muffler.
Oh wait,
So
shit! I got one right here. I can weigh one. Well, yeah, and especially if we put a tongue muffler on it, it'd be even better.
Or get one
Yeah,
of those dinger mufflers if you want a regular muffler. They're like an ounce less than.
yeah. This one's showing like 8.5, and it's got
yeah.
a spinner and a broken prop on it though. So
Yeah.
Gonna be 8 ounces plus the tongue, 8.5. So you can knock off 3.5 ounces off that nose.
right there, yeah, which means the tail weight could come off, and I'd still be an ounce heavy on the tail, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I like a Brodak 4D. If you're gonna do any kind of like that Super Spider and all that's back from the Fox 35 days. And a Brodak 40 with a tongue muffler weighs like 6.4 ounces. About the same exact as a Fox 35. So, and it makes them balance without adding tail weight to it, to these airplanes. That's like Samantha's Oriental. With that and a tongue muffler, it balances perfect. And that's what Pat Imoff there took to the Nats and flew in classic with Samantha's old airplane.
Yeah.
And he says, man, he can't believe how it flies. Well, in Dick's like the one he had flew like shit, but he put a LA 40 in it that goes like 8.5 ounces in a muffler and all that. So he had to add tail weight to it. Well, now, you get the barbell effect. It's just not made, for that airplane. I like to keep, the same amount of weight in it that these planes are, built with. But yeah, that's why, Buck uses the LA 25s because they're, with a big muffler and stuff, they weigh the same as the Fox.
Yeah.
And everything balances.
Well, we'll
Mike,
get something figured
before
out.
before you do any changes with the motors or anything, balance the plane and figure out where the actual CG is right now. So when you make the change on the motor, at least you have a baseline of,
Of course. Yeah.
so then if the motor is lighter and you take the tail away out, you might want to return to the existing balance point, the
Yeah.
current one. So
Hmm.
it's going to be a little nose heavy in case of whatever, then you can add more tail weight if you really have to do it again. Maybe
Yeah.
the weight is going to fix the problem.
It
Yeah, I have a
certainly
feeling
felt
that
sluggish to me.
if you stick a LA-46 on that with a tongue muffler, you probably have to pull off the tail weight, and I think you'll be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah,
This will
that'll
really,
save 5 right there. So that'll bring it
yeah.
down to 43 ounces. What's that do for the wing loading, Jim?
Oh, let me crack right here. Hang on.
Out comes the calculator.
That brings it down to 12.9. That's good.
Well, I was gonna say
Okay.
Samantha's Sassy Sam weighs 42, and that's with a LA-40 on it, or FP-40. I'm sorry, and it flies real well. She won a shitload at Brodak with it,
Okay.
but for a non-flapped airplane. But then we jumped to the Oriental, and that's where she really started getting better corners and all that kind of stuff out of it. But it's a good flying airplane. There's no doubt about it. I got a couple of them.
Jim, when you calculate the wing loading, in what units are you using?
Ounces a square foot.
Ounces per square foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to keep it for something like that. You want to keep it at, mid 12s if you can get it at the most.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for the help, fellas. I will definitely take all that in consideration. And nothing like having to do all this shit the day before you go to a contest, huh?
You get those little plastic wheels too. The little white spoked ones.
Yeah, it's got light wheels on it already. That's one of the things I already looked at. They are light wheels. They're light foam. So, but I think that tail wheel can come off too, man.
Yeah, you go. Well, the reason why Dick was using them is we use a stooge, and we had a couple of the wire tail wheels. Once you do, a lot of times they'll bust off. We busted it off a Vector. Samantha's Vector was just sitting there running away, and all of a sudden it just takes off, and I'm like, I thought she pulled the line on it, and luckily it nosed in and killed it. But from vibration and stuff and just keeping it on that stooge, it must have broke that music wire tail wheel.
Yeah, I always put a piece of brass tubing through the fuse for a stooge, and then run the wire through that. I never tied them to the tail wheel because I never trusted my tail wheels to hold them.
I'm going to step away from just a minute. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh,
Hey, Tran, how many cells you running in your plane?
6.
6 cells.
Well, doesn't mean it's optimum. I have way more battery than what I will ever need.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my power system. I'm going to use my new one. I'm thinking I want to go to 5 cells because I got the Fioretti timer for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
What one you got, the 6 or the 4, or what one do you have?
well, I'm looking on the Fioretti. For using the Fioretti, I want to use at least 5 cells. So I'm going to get 5 cells, I think.
No, what version of the
4. I
timer?
got the 4.
4, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, and I don't know if this is true or not, and I was going to get a hold of Freddie online to find out if the algorithms are set for a 6 cell.
No, I don't think so.
See, that's
I don't think it matters what you put in it.
see that's what I was wondering too. And they're at the Nats and stuff. They're saying, "Oh yeah, Igor and him set it up for however that works for a 6 cell. If you put
Well,
a 4 in there, it won't work as well."
well, yeah. What happens is you with the 6 cell you have more voltage, so the motor responds faster with the high voltage. It'll spool up faster with the high voltage.
Yeah, but you can size your kV on the motors to do the same thing.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's about the current, because you use less current with the 6 cell.
If the battery can release the current, is fine. So if you have say a 35C battery versus a 25C battery on a 6S, say you have a 20C battery at 6S, right? You can get they can give you 20 times, whatever the voltage is, right?
Yeah, well,
But you can have a 35C battery at 5S. So it's 35 times the whatever the voltage is, a little bit less voltage, but the power is the same.
yeah, no, but I think the spool up it's more about the internal resistance of everything. It just it's because we're talking about not we're not talking about seconds, we're talking about microseconds to get the spool up, fractions of a second.
No, I think when you go over there, Jim, I think is the more important is not the voltage, not as much the kilovoltage. Is the motor strong enough to change that RPM that fast? So if you have a weak-link motor, it doesn't matter how much power you put into it. It's not going to change RPM as fast. If the motor has the muscle and is not super loaded, then you can do it. That's
Yeah, because what I was thinking is that electricity is traveling at 186,000 miles a second. So that's really fast. And I don't know if from 20 volts to 15 volts or whatever, if it's going to make that much of a difference.
it's going to get there in time. Yeah.
It'll get there in milliseconds.
Yes.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bust out, man. I'll catch you all next time. I gotta go book a flight. But
Yeah, Mike, I'm so sorry about your loss, man, and take care,
all
and
right,
we'll see you
I'll see
next
you
week.
guys next time.
Good night, Mike.
I'll
All
post
right.
See you, Mike.
I'll post some stuff from Paducah on the control line page. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Jim, have you bought batteries or anything yet? Jim. Oh, we lost Jim.
I see Jim. It says he disconnected.
Shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll come back in.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he just had a blip.
Charles, did you ever decide how you're gonna paint your plane?
Not yet, but I did print a small 8x11 plan, and I got some colored pencils, and I got some ideas. It's something really simple. Most likely
Pull
a
them
light
out.
gray.
Yeah.
Huh?
Pull out the color pencil. Start drawing something. Show us what you got.
I got something simple. Just like a light green with a white base, maybe a little bit of gold in there.
That's what I need to do is actually draw it out first. I do what Trey and Tate says, make it up as I go along. It looks like a patchwork, but
yeah. You know what goes very nice with light grill?
Yeah, I just had a power outage.
Yeah.
Here comes Jim.
Yeah. My power went out for a second.
Yeah, I figured.
We forgive you.
Jim, what I've noticed that in general, like everybody that flies electric, they think that if they use a lighter motor, they are saving weight, which is utopia. All you are doing is that you need to pump a lot of amperage into the motor. You need a big ESC, so you spend the weight over there, and now you need a big battery to pump in the wattage, so the motor can do whatever you want it to do. And just by simply using a bigger motor is going to save you a lot of hassles down in opposite direction, and if not more weight, it's going to be a lighter system.
Well, I haven't been able to figure out how to make it lighter because I'm right now I'm running 4 cells and with a 2820 970 kV motor, and that'll pull a 54 ounce plane pretty well.
That's the Axie, right? The
No, so
Igor Axie.
Cobra.
Cobra. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it pulls it pretty well. It's pulling. I just measured it today. Actually, static amps is about 39 static on the ground. So
okay.
I mean, there's plenty of thrust and everything, but I want to go to a bigger motor on my new plane. But I'm gonna by the time we get the bigger motor and get the batteries that you can buy that'll fit with the 5S, it's going to be about 3 ounces more.
Just get the bigger motor and keep the kilovoltage then.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
And
I'll
you
tell
gonna
you,
do?
Jim, if you're going to go with a 5-cell, and I don't know how much battery you need, but the Venom batteries, they have a 1-year fully replacement warranty on them. And after that, it's 50% for the life of the battery.
Yeah, well, wow. But they're pretty heavy though.
Not the 5-cell is not. For some reason, that 5-cell in the 3000 or whatever it takes that the Smith brothers in Florida is flying weighs the same as a 6-cell. Shit, I can't think of the one battery I'm flying. What batteries are we flying?
I fly a Thunder Powers.
Thunder Powers, yeah. If you look at it, that 5-cell weighs the same thing as a 6-cell Thunder Power. So the weight's the same.
Yeah, so if the weight is the same, why use the other one when we can use the 6-cell?
Well, that's the idea, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, you know. No, yeah. So Cobra, what's Cobra?
You don't use the batteries have more in them. You don't use as much voltage. It depends on what motor and stuff like that. But what I look at it as too is like the warranty of the batteries on them. They're cheaper to buy in the first place, and if you have them for a couple years and you trade them, you trade them in, and now it only costs you 50%. That's a good savings on batteries.
I'm at the Venom site right now. The 5-cells all he got is 5,000 and 36,000, 3,600, 5,000 and 3,600.
Okay.
What is the 36 weigh now? Let's say what the weight is.
Let's see.
These companies change these batteries all the time.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
You're talking about the Venom batteries, right?
Yep.
I look at specs here. 5-cell, the weight is, where's the weight? Yeah, it's 382 grams.
382 grams?
Right, yeah.
Hold on a second. Grams to ounces.
Yeah, 28.35 divided by.
Now, what was it again?
The Venom
380?
382 and a half. And the 5-cell, that's a 30, yeah, that's a big one. That's a 30, that's a 3,600. That's way too big.
That's 13.4 ounces.
Yeah, that's way too big. Yeah.
It seems like they used to make a 5-cell on that. But it only weighed like 12 and a half or something. But I'm not sure what the Thunder Power 6-cell weighs.
A Thunder Power 6-cell 2,800.
Yeah, them around 14, I think.
Now the 6-cell is 351.
Okay, I'm completely lost because I missed all those details. So what do you have on hand right now?
12.3.
What batteries are you using?
Me?
Yeah.
I got. I'm running 2800 4 cells.
2800 4S. Okay.
Yeah, and that's pushing it though. I gotta really bump up a little bit. If I,
Okay.
if
And
I
the
go to
motor
5
is
cells,
what motor do you have? You said the Cobra what?
right now I'm using a Cobra 2820 970 kV.
Yeah,
970.
that's well, we can kind of a 40 size.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's pulling. It's static. I'm running 485 watts. So there's plenty of power. There's plenty of power. So power's not an issue with that plane, but it's just. But I'm pushing the limit to the battery.
Well, you can go to the Brodak 3500 4 cell. I mean, that gives you a lot more battery.
I know, but they're way heavier. You're talking a couple, 2-3 more ounces, at least probably 2-3 more ounces.
Yeah, a couple more ounces.
Yeah, so that's why if I go to Thunder Power,
Well,
5 cells,
that's what your
800.
problem is right there, Jim.
What's that?
And what propeller are you using there?
I'm using a Messenger 11.5 3 blade.
11.5. 3 blade.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So that's almost equivalent to what I'm using right now. Okay.
well, how many RPM you turning?
Me, I'm running I think about 9,000 or so.
That's it.
Yeah.
What are you using? What prop you using?
I'm not using a carbon prop. I'm using an Exor 2-blade prop 12.6.
Oh, 12.6. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's about right. 'Cause I'm running about 10.3, 10.350.
Yeah.
It's a 5-inch pitch.
Yeah. I would probably go to a. And what's the plane? What plane are you?
My own plane, my Stalker.
Stalker,
Yeah,
which is like a Vector 40 or what?
it's a 500 square inch wing. But it's heavy, you know.
Oh, okay.
But it flies good. You've probably seen it around. It's the red, white, and black one
Mm,
profile.
uh, probably, but nah, probably not. So let's look. Up. Probably a higher pitch prop was gonna help you too. Probably, I go at least a 6 pitch prop on these amp motors, but I'm looking at let's say with some headroom over there. Let's say 12,000 divided by 3.7 and divided by 4. So that's 4.8. So you need a motor that's about 800 kilovolts actually. That's about all you need, 800. And there's a Cobra 3520 12
Yeah,
35
I was looking at the
3520
one I'm thinking
dash
of putting
12.
in.
I'm sorry.
The one I'm thinking of putting in. Hang on a second. I was going to put a 35, 15, 18 in it. The new one,
35 15 watt.
18. It's a 740 kV.
The 740. Oh, is that because you have it already, right?
No, I don't have it yet. I'm just trying to decide which one to buy.
I'd go the
That
3520s.
motor weighs like 2 ounces more than the the Cobra you're using now.
It's 6. That's 6.2. Let's see.
There's 8
Uh,
something, I think.
I think the one I'm using now is about almost 5 ounces. It's a little over an ounce more.
Yeah. Okay, so 352012 is a 216 grams motor. Okay.
I think it's more than that. No, maybe 216. Let me check.
I'm looking at the specs right now.
Yeah, it's
The
the 20,
30
28, 28, 2012, 12.
2020
It's 138 grams, 4.87 ounces.
28
So what is
20
the other motorway?
The
12.
other motor weighs 6.28. So it's about
So it's 2 ounces. It's 2 ounces more, right?
no, it's an ounce and a quarter more.
4.8. I thought you said the other one was 6.8.
No, 6.2.
Six point
It's
two.
it's for sure you don't have enough motor for that blade. This 2812, 28 2012, it's way too weak.
28 what?
The one you're using right now, the 2820-12,
Yeah.
it's a very weak motor.
It flies it fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm flying
And you
five.
you're probably cooking something on top of it when you're done flying.
Well, the motor's cool. I can touch them. I mean, the motor's cool when it's done. It doesn't even get hot.
Okay.
The batteries, I'm pushing the battery.
Yeah.
I'm
So
pushing
so you think about the 3515?
What's that?
Are you using to go to a 3515?
Yeah, 35, 15, 18
35 15 18.
with the 5 cells. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still kind of edgy, I think. 3515. You can do you know. Yeah, 18 is gonna work with your current 4S battery,
Yeah, I want to run with a 5S.
but you need more pitch. I think you can use this motor with a more pitch 2 blade prop.
I can try it.
Yeah. Uh, for me, I'll probably just go to. Uh, you you might think I'm crazy or whatever, 35 20 12, and you double the power on the motor. Probably the battery is going to be just relaxed as a kitten, and you're probably going to run in a 20 amps or so. So now the ESC can get really small. The everything else, battery probably going to cut the usage on it by 40% or so.
A 3520?
Yeah, with the 3520, you're gonna probably end up using just a 4S 2200. And if you get a 4S 2200, and with a bigger motor, since it's using a lot less power, then the battery you can stay with the light thunder powers, and you're gonna save a lot of weight over there. So imagine a 25 30 amp ESC with a 2200 milliamps um, thunder power battery. What would that be?
I can't imagine 2200 is going to haul that around. It's going to be 50, probably 54 ounces. 55 with that motor, probably 55 ounces.
You save it on the battery side.
Yeah, but you need it back. Is it that more efficient?
A lot more efficient. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised. So watch this, okay? So say a Pro Light battery, 22 and 4S. It's $32 a piece, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine 4S22 is going to make it.
Yeah, you're gonna be surprised, although. So this is gonna be I mean, look at this. You're going from a motor. Um, I'm looking at this one, the 820, 35 20 12 820. You need to realize this motor, it's 1040 watts. It's actually 830 watts at 4 cell.
Which one
right?
are you looking at?
The 35 20 12.
Oh, 820 kV. Okay.
Yeah, the 820 kV, which is very suitable for a 4S. But this motor has a lot more muscle, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, with 5 cells, you get, yeah. But 4 cell, you get 830 watts. That's a lot of power.
What
yeah,
is your 4 cell batteries weigh now?
234.
In ounces?
Uh, Good question. Let's see an ounce. It's 234. I can do that. I calculate it real quick. 234. Enter 28.35. There,
so
8.3.
you would save 37 grams on the battery, I think, at the minimum. Uh, you might save even more if you said that the 2800 milliamps it's very good right now. It's right on the edge. That means, let's say, zero point 0.8 times 2800, right? So you're actually using about 22 mm, 2240 milliamps maximum, something like that, right?
Yeah, 2240.
Yeah, 2240 maximum, right?
Yeah. So
Now,
you need a bigger battery.
yeah.
I think
Now,
what I really need is a 2500. Can't find them though. That are light.
Right. That's why you can't. The other thing is
yeah.
with that new Brodak battery, I just weighed it. It weighs 9.6. I'm
Yeah.
instead of 8.3 or whatever. So you're adding an ounce and a third.
Hmm.
But if you go to a bigger motor, which then adds an ounce and a quarter, and you got to go to a heavier 5 cell battery,
You don't want to do that, yeah.
because you can't get the 5 cells small enough.
Right. I mean, you
No,
can.
this motor is good for a 4S. So if you use this motor, you stay with a 4S because it's 820 kilovolts. So it just puts you right in the range of the 4S. So stay with the 4S, right?
Are you using an active system, Trayan?
I'm using a motor that's very close to this one that you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at.
Are you using the active the Igor system or the
Yeah,
350?
yeah, yes. And you know what? In one flight, my plane weighs 60 ounces, and in one flight with this motor, I'm using about 1,300. Sometimes I have flights that I have 1,200 milliamps plus, right? 1,200 milliamps. But I'm
And what's
using
that? 4 cell?
out of a 6 cell, right?
Are you
But
using 6 cell?
yeah, but let's do an equivalent of that. Let's see what on a 4 cell will be, right? So it's have 1200, okay, times 6 equals, and then
6
divided by
times
4.
4 divided
So 4 will be 1800.
1800. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's on a 60-ounce plane with 710 square inches on it, right? So you're talking a much smaller plane, right?
Yeah.
So even for this on the 4S, okay, okay, now divided by 0.8 is 1800 divided by 0.8 is, so yeah, you can get away with a 2250 pack on this motor, but probably going to run a very low amp. Uh, uh, you're going to run in a with an 11. If you want to use an 11-inch prop, probably going to run even less than that. So now you have a light ESC and a battery that's going to save you 37 grams. So you save 37 grams on the battery side, and let's say you get an ESC that's the 33 amp, which is 33 grams, right? Or
Yeah.
34. The Igor it's 34 gram, like a 33 ESC. So you are saving another. I think the 66. It's about how heavy is a 66 ESC from Igor? Do you know?
I'm not
No.
sure.
I got a 44 amp for my new plane.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, 44 will just be actually overkill for this, right?
Yeah, it should be.
So, but the trick here is you're saving 37 grams on the battery side, from going from 2800 milliamps to a 2200 milliamps battery, and you could probably save another 10 grams or so on the ESC side. So it's a 47. So it's about an ounce and a half. So as you can see, whatever you put in the motor, you kind of save it on the other side.
I gotta play around with that because that'll be great if I could do that.
The other
Yeah.
thing is that it's like with I use the 3500 from Brodak for the
Right.
reason I always got to add nose weight.
Yeah. Right.
So I figured, why not use the 3500 milliamp battery? I'm only pulling 50% out of it.
Yeah, I know that's easy on the batteries too.
And
Yeah.
that's so easy on the batteries that,
And it's also easy on ESC, Steve.
right. So, but I'm using the battery for balance and not
Hmm.
trying,
Right.
because if I went and lightened up, I had it lighter and then I had to add an ounce and a half of nose weight. And I'm like, well, why not add an ounce and a half battery weight?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I do that too.
It distributes it all over and I could have went with a heavier motor, whatever, but I decided to go with the
Yeah.
battery balance.
Yeah.
And a heavier motor having more steel in it and more copper and more magnets, has so much easier time of accelerating from one
Right,
RPM to the next one, uh, compared to a little beanie one trying to do the same thing. I mean,
right.
think about that. So motors running easy and cool, the battery is running easy and cool, ESC is running effortless, and everything is effortless in that kind of a system.
And I run I got the Cobra, I got the two different Brodak motors, but I like that large diameter Brodak motor, the Arrow Wind.
Yeah.
Heroin. Yeah. I mean,
And that works, it seems to work better with the um Ready timer. It has more torque. You can just tell when it goes up, it has more torque to it.
the bigger diameter. Yeah, you will get big. That's the advantage of the bigger diameter motor. You get more torque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim, go to Lindinger. It's I think it's called Lindinger. It's Lindinger.
Lindinger.
Hmm. Type in Lindinger. It's Model Bow Lindinger, right? And if you click on that, type in 40 to 50.
Lindinger 40 to 50.
4250.
4250.
Yeah.
The Joker
Let me
motor.
jump in for just a second. We
Yeah,
are
that's
coming
what I
up on the
use.
time. Let me jump in
Okay.
just a second, please. We're coming up on the time when this thing automatically shuts off the YouTube feed. So uh, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to have to reset the connection. And I was just checking now to make sure that our YouTube viewers were still out there watching. Somebody type me a message and check in and let me know you're still watching right now. So I'll know if we do or don't lose you. And we might have a minute delay when I have to reset the stream. It won't affect us in here in the video, but it will affect the YouTube watchers.
Yeah.
And that's all I had to say. So thank
So
you.
so Jim, they have this one, the V3 820 kilovolt, the uh, the 820, and I put that on a 4S, and it just barely just breaks a sweat. Long story
42,
short.
4250. What was the
Yeah.
KB on 800, 820?
Yes, which is perfect for a 4S battery.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And
Where do
and
you,
I'm
where do
looking.
you get them overseas? I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's where I get it from. Yes. And
And what's the weight of that?
210 grams.
Sure.
It's even lighter than the Cobras.
Yeah.
And at 820, it's 1040 watts. I mean, that thing it's a monster.
Yeah, it is.
It is a monster power wise. It's far more powerful than the Cobra is, and it just sips the amps. Um, yeah. So
So you're running 4 cell in yours, huh? Oh no, you're running 6. You said in yours.
I'm running 6, but my motor is the 510.
Yeah. Are you running 510 in yours?
Well, he also has another airplane though with the other Joker motor in it, right?
Yeah, but I'm running 510 kilovolt on mine on 6S.
Right, but how about the other one? Your that SIG airplane?
Mark McInnes.
No, the SIG. Your
The
Twister.
Oh, the Twister. Yeah, the Twister uses the 3548 Joker, uh, which is the I think is the 720 kilovolts or the 850, one of those. And I'm running that on 4S as well.
Right.
And it's pulling the Twister just fine everywhere. Yeah.
But yeah, if that Joker motor is going to put out 1,000 kilowatts or
1040 watts.
1,040 watts, and it's lighter, if you need to balance, then you can go like with that bigger battery from Brodak. Treat the batteries really nice.
No, the battery can get lighter now because look at this. This guy's design is going to pull a 14.7 prop with the 11.6 or 11.7 on it is going to be like it's spinning a toothpick, right? It's not going to even feel it. The battery consumption is going to be so low, it's going to scare you. So
Yeah, I understand that, but I guess if it's down to 50%, but if you need nose weight,
this is the way to do it. Yeah.
put the bigger battery in it.
I usually never.
No, not true. No, Steve. What you want to do? This is what you want to do. If your plane is you want your plane to be nose heavy, you use the bigger motor with a lighter battery. If you want it to be more tail heavy, use a smaller motor with a bigger battery because these you shift the electrical power plant overall center of gravity backwards. Does it make sense?
Yeah, but sometimes
Because
you can't get it that light. You can't move it. You can't move it far enough forward.
a heavier motor is going to help you always.
Or you can't move it far enough back.
What, the battery?
Yeah.
But you use a smaller batteries. If you want to keep the same battery, that's one thing, yes. But as soon as you put the bigger motor, your battery is going to get smaller. You can afford that. So the thing is, see, Jim, this is the thing, right? If you want to use a 5S or a 6S system, you need to consider the following thing: is that the smallest 6S battery you will ever find, and perhaps the lightest one, is the 2800 milliamps from Thunder Power, right?
Yes.
The smallest 5S battery, I think, is still the same thing. It's the 2800 milliamps from Thunder Power, right?
Right. Yes.
Now, if you go with 4S, the sky is the limit as of choices of what you can have, right? So if you use the motor, and that's why I'm saying just stay with the 4S because you have the Buku battery selection, right? And with a big motor, it's not gonna pull a lot of current out of the battery, so you can also stay with a low C rating on your battery. You don't need a 4S that's 35C or a 4S that 50C rating or some crazy amount, because as the C rating goes up, also the batteries get fatter and heavier and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So having a bigger motor in a nose, what is that gonna do? It doesn't require the power from the battery anymore because it's spinning a toothpick. It doesn't even feel the propeller on it, right? Even if you stick
Wait.
with the
Yeah.
yeah, even if you stick with an 11.5,
Well, you're building your own fuselage,
Yes.
so you can fit the motor to the fuselage.
Oh yeah, there's no problem. The fuselage at the nose is about 5 inches diameter, so
It's
it's
like
plenty.
on the Vector, Either you got to cut the nose off and redo the nose to get a bigger motor in that.
Yeah, I know. No, my this one is it's very rounded. There's enough I could put a half a big washing machine motor in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that ain't gonna matter. That's
No,
what I'm saying. Just as long as you know that you can get the motor in it.
I'm just curious. What's the diameter of that motor? Outside diameter?
It's 42 millimeters.
The outside diameter,
Hmm.
or is that the stator diameter? Usually the 4250. That's usually the stator diameter inside.
That's in Cobra motors. This is how Cobra motors are qualifying their motors. They look at the stator
Right.
overall,
For this
stator length and stator diameter. The jokers are looking at the overall. I need to keep in mind.
Is on.
All right, we have live streaming is on.
that was pretty
Anyways,
seamless.
so so the kilovoltage and the voltage from your battery is going to give you the RPM, the maximum RPM you can spin the thing to, right? And obviously, as you put a propeller on it, now too big of a prop may require more amperage. A smaller prop would require less amperage, whatever, But yeah, no, it's just if you stick with an 11-inch prop, say 11.6, three blade, even that, I think this motor is gonna be just effortless.
Yeah, that motor you said is of the 2820 that I'm running now. This motor is like 2.5 ounces more. The one you're talking about.
Yeah, but you're gonna save at least an ounce and change from the battery.
Yeah,
Uh, 37 grams, right? And you're gonna probably save even more on the ESC if you go with a 30, you know, 33 amps ESC, which is an overkill for the size of propeller you're gonna use. So you save it all over there, right? But now think about it. Your ESC is just very relaxed. Your battery is very relaxed, right?
yeah,
You're producing very little heat.
yeah.
The motor is not gonna warm up at all. So heat is wasted energy. So
Right.
because you don't waste any energy on heat with things that get hot, then um, like like um, like you would do it with a small motor, right? A small motor requires a lot of battery activity and a lot of ESC activity, so they're gonna get hot, and the more little motor is gonna get hot. So you have three heat sources, that waste a lot of energy, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
well,
it doesn't return you anything.
I
It's just
tell you, presently my motor it's almost cool to the touch when it lands.
mhm. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe you have a
but
very good cooling for it.
The ESC is probably working harder than these two because the KV is a little high. It's
Hmm.
970, so when the, so the ESC has to throttle it down. So that spends energy.
Yeah. So that gets hot, and then, I assure you, the battery has a hard time pumping all that energy into your ESC as well.
Now, can I ask you a question? Why do you like the Joker motors better than some of the other ones?
They were the lightest I could find.
Or the light?
They have good Japanese bearings inside of them. Steel is steel, copper is copper. I don't care much about it. So
You have to buy them from this place. Is that the only place you can get them?
yeah, this is the only place you can get them from. But if you look at it, it's like you can probably get a selection of them, and not gonna break the bank.
No.
Yeah, it's 41 euros for one. Even with
$41.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cheap.
It's $42. It's 42 pounds, or not pounds, euro.
euro.
So what's that about? $48?
No, it's 45 euro, $2, almost a 1 to 1, 1.1 or something like that. It's not a huge difference, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't converted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay VAT tax on them?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No.
And and the shipping? How much is the shipping? Probably not too much.
No, it wasn't much. When I ordered it, I was like $20 or something like that, $25. Uh, and yeah, 35.
It'd be interesting to try this.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the motor, itself. It's just we it has a bigger diameter in the shaft. It's a 6 millimeter shaft. It's very robust and kind of hard to beat it up. And yeah, so even the 35s, the 35 48s. So if you want to try that one, you could probably try one of those too. 35 48. The 850 kilovolts are probably just gonna spin that 11-inch prop. I think this is what I'm using on my yeah, this is what I'm using on a twister right now. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm using. 35 48 850 kilovolts. That's exactly what I'm using on my twister right now. And it pulls it just fine with an 11.6 prop, two blade wood. That's fine. That works good.
Who,
But I
who
think
makes
it's
that
on a
Joker
small.
motor? Who makes that Joker motor?
I think it's Chinese made, but it's by for Germany, and they have Germans. They're very picky on what they buy.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking. I'm trying to get. They have a. You can. I'm trying to sort by manufacturer. They don't tell you what the manufacturer is. Let's
Most,
see.
Yeah.
most all these motors are made by the same company. Dennis Adamission was saying there's only two or three
Yeah.
Hmm.
that make all the electric motors there in China. And you pick what you want for bearings and
Hmm.
AV and all that kind of stuff and the size. And
Hmm. Yeah, this company is in Austria right now. But what I like about these motors, they have a nice cooling. The design on them, it's very nice for cooling because it's like the front side, the side that you mount it, has a certain size, and right, the can behind it has a little bit larger diameter. So the uh, the air has a very easy access to the coils and also a very easy access between that uh, on that side, just to cool things down. Yeah, that's what I'm using on my plane, on Alexander's plane. It's the 3548, which is a 700 and you know 720 watts motor, and I'm putting an 11.6 on it, wood prop.
yes, you won't even use the 700 watts.
Me?
I said, no, I said, he won't even use 700 watts on his airplane.
No.
No,
No,
you
I need
don't.
about somewhere close. It won't go over 500. That's all I need.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I really like? I use those Exor props.
Yeah, I know. I like the Zor props also.
They're just beautifully made, balanced, and all that good stuff, and they're identical. So you don't get two props that are slightly different. They're just identical. I put them on a pitch gauge. The pitch was perfect.
Have you looked at the Turnigy props? Because I'm wondering if Zor doesn't make them for Turnigy.
Nah, I doubt it.
No, no, I don't think they're the same.
Because the three-bladed props that are Turnigy are exact, then they're exact copies of the three-bladed swords.
I got a two blade 11.6 Tourney, the light version, right? And they have nothing in common with the Exor, but they have a different. Let me see. I think they have a different Tourney brand. That might be it. But I think what Tourney does is just kind of the same thing that Brodak does with their props. Kind of a crude setup, with one tool, and as they pull the blade through, the blade changes the pitch, and the tool is just cutting the blade. So something that's very scientific, or something
Not
that's very
precision, no.
precise. Oh, let me see that, Steve.
That either Zor or whoever makes it for Zor, this is the exact of a Zor.
Okay. Do you have a XOR prop?
No, I don't have one of them. Another guy had one, and it's like a rivet hole, everything are exact. You feel the blade, the look of it, the size of it, everything just matches up perfect.
Yeah, I got the light one. I didn't get these ones, so it's probably very true. It might be true. Yeah, it can be very. It
But
can be true. Yes.
Did you get that Mojave King?
yeah, this is a 12-6, but we've been cutting them down to an 11-6, and they work fantastic.
They do not make an 11.6.
No, they make an 11-5,
Oh, okay.
but we went because of what you said. We went up, we went up pitch and then just take
Yeah.
a little bit off the ends of the blades, and
Did you like the higher pitch?
it seems to bite better. When you're pulling the nose up and stuff.
It does. Oh.
See, the thing is, Jim, that most um, it's electric motors are far more efficient at lower RPM.
Yes.
So as you increase the pitch and increase the diameter, you can get the same thrust, the same speed and stuff like that. But you run your motor at a lower RPM, where they are very happy. So that's the trick to it. That's the way I look at it.
Yes.
Um,
But I think, but you get I think in the when you on a higher pitch, probably get more slippage.
uh,
'Cause
that's why
I
you
know,
increase the diameter. Yeah, I see that the Aerostar electric props. Is that the one, Steve?
I'm not sure if they're. I don't think it's the Aerostar. There's a different Turnigy prop on there.
Uh-huh.
That's the bad thing about Hobby King, trying to find the damn props. That
Yeah, it's the Beechwood 3 blade. That's
beach,
what you
yeah,
got.
check out the Beechwood.
Yeah. So the Beechwood, yeah, that looks like an Exor, but the their light props, I tell you right now that they're not exactly that wonderful.
Okay.
Uh, Perhaps this Aerostar series, electric series, is the kind of the same thing as the Beechwood prop that you have, and it's in that shape. Yeah, looks like the Beechwood is made out of this Aerostar electric, and they just reconfigure it for a 3 blade. Yeah. And this Aerostar electric wood propeller is very much like the Exor props. Yes, I'd be tempted to buy that.
Yeah, I want to try some and see exactly what they're like because these ones work so well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to find the same beechwood with the same shape of the propeller and stuff like that and try it in a two blade.
Hmm. Yeah.
I've never used a three blade on any of my airplanes. I bought a three blade for my P40,
Hmm.
but have never actually flown it. I started balancing it and got tired of balancing it and put it aside, never got back to it.
I
Well,
got
How do
I
you
got the light
balance
three
it,
blades.
Rusty?
I was using one of those magnetic balancers that you
Uh huh.
take material off the heaviest blade.
Okay.
Um, I was I'm usually pretty good at balancing the two blade props so that they'll stop
Uh
at
huh.
any position you put it. Some of them just won't do it because the hub's out of
Yeah.
shape or something. But three blade prop gave me some trouble, so I just never got around to finishing it.
Yeah. Well, the trick to balancing a 3 blade prop, you need to find which one is the lightest one. And when you balance it to that lightest blade, right?
So you take material off the two other blades when you find the lightest one. Okay.
Yes. The lightest one is gonna stay on the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
now you take one of the other ones and you lighten it up, and then you take the second one, you lighten up, and you should be done.
Good. Okay. I'll go
That's it.
back to it and try that.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah. Um. And yeah. Uh,
When you remove material from a prop, do you mostly take it off of the backside near the tip, or do you take it off of the whole?
really, with the three blade prop, it really doesn't matter
I
because
always,
you still balance it blade by blade. But now, if you want to be cute about it, I want to take it off the bottom because you want to keep the top nice and pretty. I don't think
Yeah.
it matters where you get it from.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I take it off the front because I don't want to change the profile of the back. That affects the prop performance a lot.
Well, the other thing you can do too is a buddy of mine that flew pattern on a three blade, even on his two blades. He would spray dope on the light blade.
Yeah, but then you have to wait for it to dry.
Right,
Yeah.
you do, but he would do up a dozen props because it's not like you, unless you decide you're going to quit flying or you don't like that prop or whatever, if you like the prop. So he would add to it. And then if it was heavy, then he would sand the lacquer
Yeah.
on it, buff it up. And, because that's what he said. He goes, most of it is when they spray the clear on it,
Urethane.
they keep
Yeah.
one side heavy or whatever. And that's the way he did his. And, but I don't know. I've never tried. I've been testing with two blades with the hub being out of balance. And I found it's easier to add CA than it is to try to sand the hub to get it to balance.
Yeah.
You know,
Besides, I don't like taking material off the hub any more than I absolutely have to. I've done it on two blades, but I don't like to.
But if you take material off the hub, then material is so close to the center of the blade, then it's
It
not gonna
right.
influence much of anything.
It
Now,
doesn't
if you
make
take it from the tip,
a
it's
difference.
completely opposite.
Yeah.
but what it is that if you take a two blade and put a mark on one side of the hub, and you should be able to put this blade any place. If it always goes the marked side down or the unmarked side down, then it's the hub that's heavier and not the balance of the blade.
Right.
And that's when I add to the light side with a couple of drops of CA.
Mhm.
So there's not that vibe. And electrics are, they say that you really have to be careful. I was on the RC deal about electrics that the hub imbalance will take out bearings and stuff in electric motors.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, Jim, what I wanted to say about, say you want to increase pitch, right? If you want to maintain thrust, with the increase in pitch also has to come an increase in diameter, right? So you have low pitch, high RPM, or high pitch,
Low RPM.
uh,
Yeah.
high pitch, low RPM with higher diameter. They both gonna get you the same amount of thrust with the
Right.
same amount of speed, right? Now the trick to it is that the electric motors are gonna love the big prop with the high pitch because they're more efficient at lower RPM. So what I think that happened in a control line community, we came from those tune pipe motors, right? And what did we have in our box? We had those 4-inch 4-inch pitch props, 12 fours, 12.375, uh, three blades and stuff like that, right? So probably when people want to go from IC to electric, I say I have this $50 prop, and I spend $50 on it. I'm gonna use the damn thing no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So So then you start to look at the conversions, right? What can you fit in a nose of a SV11 or you name it, right? That you had a PA 65, 75, a Rojet 40, 50, 60, stuff like that. Well, they are all 35 millimeters, right?
Yeah.
If you measure it, it's about 35 millimeters, right? So what's the biggest electric motor that you can fit inside there? A 35 millimeter motor, right?
Right.
So if you look at the trend now using these 35 millimeter motors with 11.5 props, right? Spinning at 10,000 RPM or something like that, which is very similar to what we did before. But in order to get the little beanie motor to do that, now you need to use a 60 amp ESC and you need to use that big 5S, 6S batteries, because we want them to be light and those are the lightest battery. And because you have more voltage, you can still use the low C ratings on the batteries. Does it sound familiar? you know
Yeah.
it's
The other thing is that
it's
you
exactly the
lose
same system.
headspace,
Mm,
especially with the Igor or the Ferretti timers, where you're going to increase RPM.
mhm,
If you run a low pitch prop,
mhm,
and you can see what the RPM is, you
mhm,
run out of headspace because you're already up at 10,000 something,
Yeah.
and now you want to give it more. You're running out of RPM, usable RPM, to
yeah.
where if you run that at 8,000,
Mhm.
you may have a 3,000, which you don't need that many RPM.
You have lots of headspace.
We
Yes.
have a lot of headspace. And that's
Yeah.
really, if you use the other timers, you can probably get away with it.
Mhm,
But from what we found out with Samantha's airplane, you need to get the RPM down so you have the headspace and it
mhm.
reacts faster and stuff.
Yeah, because the motor is happier, lower RPM has more torque over there.
Right.
So the change in RPM is a lot faster. So electrics will, you know, I think the trick with selecting a correct propeller for electric is that how much pitch can you get away with. Uh, the higher the better, right? And you don't lose the drive, right? So if you maintain the drive, if you maintain the line tension stuff like that, keep pushing the pitch up.
Yep.
And as you push the pitch up, the RPMs come down, right? The motor is happier. It says, okay, give me more of this.
And
The
with a
ESC is
Ferrari,
happier, the battery is happier, everything is happier.
and the other thing is that you don't get wind up with these them two timers. So even though you got a high pitch on the old IC motors, when you come down and the wind winds up and that motor takes off, that thing speeds up and does 100 miles an hour at the ground. You don't get that with the Ferretti timer or the Igor timer.
Yeah, I know that's the biggest issue. That's one of
So
the
you
biggest.
can use a higher pitch prop without having that problem.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I would love to try a 13.7 on mine or something like that, but I don't have the ground clearance to test
Yeah,
it out.
right.
That's that was the reason with Samantha's on her landing gear and how the thing is done. We don't have the ground clearance in grass, so we ran that 11.3 blade.
Hmm.
I'd love to run a 12-inch 2 blade on it,
Hmm.
but we've been mowing grass.
Yep.
So
You know,
you got that.
we ran the 11-inch there at the Nats, but we were on pavement, and we knew we'd always be on pavement. When we were in Europe, we had one paved circle, one grass circle,
Hmm.
and even with the 11-inch, we were mowing a little bit of grass.
So you took that. You have the Turnigy, what, 12.6 you cut down to 11?
Yes.
The 3 blade?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's probably running a little bit higher than 6-inch pitch then. So,
No, I think it's 6. These things are. That's why I think they're made by Zor. They're so nice. They're so well balanced when you get them. I mean, it's just a beautiful prop.
yeah, but I think if you cut the tip off a prop, it usually increases the overall pitch.
No, because they have constant pitch on them. When I check those exhausts, the pitch is constant. And even if it increases the pitch, who cares? Run it a little bit slower, it's fine.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, just is.
What we found out is that when you cut a little bit off the tip,
Yeah.
they seem to have more torque. They become a wider blade, or something.
Mm-hmm. No
because
more.
We took a 13-inch like this and cut it down to 11, which then gives you a fatter blade down here and at the tip. And they really seem to bite. But,
yeah, but some of them are constant pitch, constant pitch, like Tran was saying. Others are vary the pitch from tip to tip.
With the 13-inch we cut down, we use that on a gas motor, IC motor, because these are so thin that when on the 13-inch you cut them down, it's a little thicker, like a more of a wood prop that most people run on IC motors. But
yeah,
so there's just you can try. They're not that expensive.
I'm just looking at
$6-7.
About $7, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you can try stuff. It's not like the two $50 props I bought for Samantha's airplane.
Yeah, I know.
And if you don't like them, you're like, oh shit. And we found out the one was too long for grass, and it's like the first time we used it was at the Nats because we broke the other prop.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can play with them for very little money and try them. If you don't have it, use a 3-blade if you don't have the ground clearance, and they work well.
I gotta get some of these. I'm gonna try them out.
Yeah.
And see how much.
Did you build your plane, Jim?
What's that?
Did you build your plane yet, or?
Well, I'm just building a fuselage now. I got the wing and the tails are done. I just got to build a fuselage. I just got all the formers on the. It's on the board. They're all in place. I just got I get a molded balsa. It's a molded balsa shell.
But I can't.
Why don't you use some foam for that to mold the balsa?
What's what I'm going to use? I got all the blocks made. We're going to put it on a router next week. I'm gonna route out the blocks, the foam blocks. I'm gonna use that as a mold, just to mold the balsa around it.
Like a CNC router?
Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
I got a question for you guys. When you're doing molding, so you get the blue foam or whatever, and you sand it to shape the way you want it.
Right.
How in the hell do you get it now to set in 1/8 of an inch on both sides?
Say that again.
Okay, so you stick it on your fuselage and you mark, you sand it to shape, get all that right. Now, if I make a mold of that, it's going to be wider than the fuselage.
Oh yeah, we have to make the mold smaller.
So how do you get it smaller?
When you build it smaller, you make the former smaller. You make your template smaller when you sand the foam. You got to make them smaller.
Yeah. Your mold is 1/8 of an inch smaller overall than what your finished product is going to be.
Yeah, I don't use we don't use 1/8 inch anymore. Mine's actually going to be 16th inch.
So I take it then you're not molding it on the airplane. You're molding it. I mean, you're not making that piece of foam on the airplane.
No. It's a whole separate thing you make up.
Because my thought was, and I don't know if this would work or not, because I've been watching online and they put the blue foam on there and they sand it, with the shape of the fuselage and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, now it's too wide.
Right.
If you took that and took an 1/8 inch cut out the middle of it, then put it back together and glue it, would that give you a 16th on both sides?
Well, no, because you don't have the right curve at the top now.
Steve, the shape of a fuselage is not exactly super critical, right? If it's 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch wider or taller, who gives a shit, right? It really doesn't matter. And whatever. But if you are shooting for a certain look, for a certain finish size, you know, when you make your mold, just make them the exact same, minus 1/8 of an inch per side, right? Everywhere.
I
So
mean,
it take
what I've done is I've if you want to do it, and you can put the block on the fuselage and sand it to get the shape, and then I just take I'll take a magic marker and make it all black, and then I'll sand that off again, and I'll do it again a couple of times till I get it down as far as just as much as you need to put the balls in. That's another way to do it.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what, Steve? What I saw on a Wendy Winowski video, I think it was, is he did use the fuselage to make um, the shape, right? But then he to get it smaller, he just put a exacto blade or a single edge blade in a piece of wood, and he made it the depth or the height of 1/8 inch, right?
Hmm.
So 1/8 inch of the blade sticking out.
Hmm.
So now he goes and cuts the mold, gets all these cuts in it, and he sands it till those cuts are just to the cuts are gone, and now it's reduced to whole size, 1/8 of an inch.
Well,
So
yeah,
in other words, Charles is a little bit of a hack job, right? Because he had a mold over there. I said, I'm not gonna make a new mold because this is close enough. I can squeeze it in a little bit. I can massage it a little bit to give me the shape I'm looking for, and that works too, right? Uh, uh, I understand that, and I have seen Windows videos. Yes, and he does a wonderful job, by the way. So yeah, that's another trick. You can squeeze it in a little bit. You can massage them a little bit or something like that. So to make the
No, he's not squeezing. He's actually just because the he measured the how much blade is sticking out,
Mhm.
and he actually uses that wood and he cuts the
Uh-huh.
mold, and the cuts are now 1/8 of an inch deep, and so when he sands it, so the lines are all gone, he's reduced the size of it, and it's nice and smooth. It's not a
Oh, okay, yeah,
hack job.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's another way of making the molds, right? So, so let's say Steve, you want to make something for a vector, right?
Yeah.
uh, Vector, you probably just use the same formers that are on the plants right now because you already have on the plants have on top of the formers is the 1/8 inch sheeting on the outside, right?
Yeah.
So use the same formers width and stuff like that, put them in position and build the foam in between them and just shape it up and you're good to go. Now, what I would say, like
Oh,
Jim
I
was
see what
saying,
you're saying.
Jim
If
was,
you get your formers the right width, glue everything up, sand it to the formers, it'll be the right size.
yes,
right,
That
right.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Use a
So
hot wire. Don't have to sand it.
yeah, that too. I mean, just so many ways. You sand it, hot wire stuff, like whatever you want to do with it, just really simple stuff. Now, when you mold the sides, um, some people use a lot of formers in a fuselage and they put this formed shapes on top of it so they can hold their shape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's one way of doing it. But what I think it's even easier and more practical is to, like Jim was saying, to use the 1/16th balsa. And what you want to use, you want 2 layers of that. So because there are 2 layers, you laminate it on top of each other and they hold their shape. They will not flatten in time. They will not change the shape in time. They will not do none of that, right? So you can use you can patch them up side by side so you can have a wider piece of balsa wood, right? And you put 2 of them on top of each other with ace band-aids and you have the whole fuselage sides from top to bottom. So you build them in 2 halves and then you just bring them together with you can put them with tape together and hit them with thin CA on the edge and you're done. You have a fuselage. You don't need formers inside of it, don't need none of that, especially for electric.
Yeah,
That's
that's kind of
great.
how Jeff did his. He made it a rounded fuselage. Jeff Traxler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
He wrapped that. He wrapped 32nd inch, right?
I think he did. Well, first he started that way. Then he went with 2/16ths, thickness, and
Okay.
he biased them. He put one on an angle off grain one
Right.
way and off grain the next way. You have waste, but once you glue that together on the fuselages,
Uh-huh.
it it wouldn't twist or anything.
Right.
Now the
Yeah,
grains
that's great.
are running
Yeah.
against each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's absolutely a wonderful way of doing it. I don't know why people don't use this more often because it's so simple to do, and uh, you can make a fuselage in 2 days if you want to.
Yeah.
In 2 days.
Trey, and on your when you're doing your composite, you're using foam now instead of balsa wood, right? For the
Yes,
and what kind of foam are you using?
raw cell.
Oh, it is okay.
And
What-
CA won't hurt that
No,
foam at all.
no,
You don't have to use foam safe CA, huh?
no.
Oh, okay.
And how thick are you using? 2 millimeter, 1 millimeter?
Depends where.
Oh,
Yeah. Horizontal uses 1 millimeter, the wings 1.5, and a fuselage 1.5.
you buy it that width?
I'm sorry.
You buy it that thickness?
Yes.
Yeah. And where are you getting that from?
Clarisonic in Taiwan.
That one. All this stuff is getting so expensive.
Yeah.
I told you I bought a Trent, I bought a sheet of that carbo weave.
Hmm.
So my next thing, I'm going to use that.
Be right back, guys.
Do this, Jim, on your first ones, okay? Um, get 1.6 ounces per square yard fiberglass and buy some regular foam from Home Depot
Right.
and cut it in, say, 2 millimeters thickness, okay?
Yeah.
And use that for your first part.
Just to play with it.
Play with it a lot, yes. Make the first few wings like that. And once you figure out what, everything works and or doesn't work or whatever, once you're happy with that, that's when you start to use the good stuff. Because
Yeah.
the good stuff is very expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And by the way, all of those parts that you're gonna make prior to this one, they're just as good and they're very serviceable and then usable for you know for whatever you want to do with them.
So what you said, 1.5 ounce glass is you using?
Yes, but yet I think his style is not 106. Yeah, 106 is a 3/4 ounce glass, but uh, you're looking for the balanced glass cloth. Okay,
Which kind?
do I make sense?
Which one you want?
You want the balanced one.
The balanced one?
Yes, which means you have the same number of wave in one direction
Oh yeah,
as in
okay.
the other direction.
Yeah.
Okay, and um, that's why I don't want to use the half-ounce fiberglass,
Yeah.
the one you got from me, I think.
Yes. I still got that. I use that.
Yeah, that's good for a nose section on over the balsa wood and stuff like that. It's great for that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's good for composite, especially if you want to put it on bias.
Right. You put your all your glass on bias, right? 45?
Everything is on bias 45 on a
Yeah.
wing and a fuselage. The only thing is not on bias is the spars. Okay, you want your spars in the direction in which you need to have them.
Right.
And the spar material, you get it from Easy Composites. It's the 100 grams per square meter material, unidirectional, and that's the best spar material you find anywhere. And it costs like $15 a square meter or something like that. I think it's almost the shipping costs more than just buying the stuff.
It's unidirectional. What weight is that?
100 grams per square meter.
100 grams.
Yeah, and it has a beautiful binder in it. The fibers are nice and straight. Um, it's just beautiful material. I mean, that stuff you can use it even in a balsa wood plane, whatever you want to have in a balsa wood plane. You can use that for reinforcements on the spars and stuff like that, and it's just strong as strong can be.
Yeah, yeah. I have a bunch of unidirectional cloth.
Yeah,
I wondered if you could do that on an I beam.
What
of
that's
course.
If anyone's ever tried that instead of the plywood or whatever they use with all that,
Hmm.
you could just do that, make that up, cut it to shape, and then make it for an I beam wing.
Of course. Wherever you need reinforcement, you're gonna get it, right?
It's
And
just,
and
it's just a
and just
blue
think of this:
back.
if you want to have this, let's say this size piece of carbon fiber, right? The of that 100 gram, the equivalent strength in balsa wood, you have to make this 2 inches thick of the balsa to have the equivalent of a sheet of that carbon fiber, which is 4/4,000ths of an inch thick, about the same size. So that's the side by side comparison, and
Pretty
that's
considerable.
oh yeah, no kidding, yeah. My my spar, it's about 7/8 over here on the root, and it's a half an inch on the tip, right? So imagine you have a 7/8 by half an inch, however long, like 30 inches long, and it's 2 inches tall, and that's one of them because I have one on top and one on bottom. So imagine two of those for your spar in a wing.
what do you use for the web?
You just need the spacer in there. Just put a foam in there.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a 5-6 millimeter foam.
Yeah,
So you cut the foam, and actually you can use the same Home Depot foam. The
that's two
the
pounds. That's 2 pound foam.
I think it's more like four, 3.5, 4.
The blue foam. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So, my gentlemen, nothing personal, but I think I'm going to go to bed. I have to do a bunch of stuff tomorrow.
It's about that time. Reached our official 12 o'clock minimum limit, so that's going to
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
a lot of
I'm
time.
supposed to go to Detroit tomorrow for a contest, going to help out there, but so yeah, I should get off too.
Yeah, we have one
Yeah,
on Sunday, the Reinhardt Cup at Garden State Circle Burners.
well, good. When y'all come back, maybe we'll have some flying to talk about because we're probably glazing over some eyes out there talking about electric power systems. Interesting as it is,
Hmm.
appreciate I appreciate y'all bringing all this information to us old
Hmm.
greasers from way back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I still
Jim,
have to take a shower after I get through flying.
hmm, Jim, whenever you make your molds, whatever shape you decide to have with the molds, just make like a cigar shape, kind of thing on a fuselage. Don't do what I did on mine, because I'm just kind of kicking
All
myself
right.
in the butt on it.
Yeah, I know. I have two fuselages I designed. One, I took my Stalker, which the profile I use, and I made it a full fuselage one. That's round. Well, I say round. It starts off as a round circle, and then but everything from I have a center line, and the top and bottom are both ellipses.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, exactly. If you keep it like that, it's gonna be easy to mold and easy to do anything
yeah, I'm
with
not
it.
worried. I'm not worried about that. It's coming out pretty good. I got a 3D model of it. I did, So we're going to route that out I said this week and get the mold made.
Cool.
And then the other one I have is a little more complicated on the front end because it has cheek cowls well built in. But I'm looking forward to getting that one done. That's my next one.
Hmm.
That,
Cool.
so, Trey, when you go back to the motors real quick, they just take regular credit card
Where on?
for those Joker motors.
Yeah, I think they do take a regular credit card. If
They
not,
take
they take a
PayPal.
PayPal.
They do. Oh, PayPal.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
almost every place does PayPal.
Yeah,
PayPal's a great service.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I use them a lot. I like them.
Thanks again to Elon Musk.
All righty, sir.
Hmm.
Sirs.
Sirs, who's sir?
Yeah, all you sirs out there.
Good night, Jim.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
All right, good night,
Yeah.
Rusty.
Thanks, man. This is a good show. This was my first solo edition, so it went pretty smoothly. And I did find out that I had been online and live with people watching me before I actually posted a link. So I got to get my sequence of startup events. But other than that, we're good. I think this is a pretty good system we got. So
I think we're gonna bring out our clubs and baseball bats, and it's like you just messed it up so bad tonight. It's just like we're gonna have to come after you.
you won't have to move too fast to catch me. Y'all do some fun stuff this weekend, and we'll come back Monday and talk about it. I enjoyed
Okay.
it. And all
Cool.
you YouTubers out there, thanks for hanging in there. Glad I got the 2 hour cutoff transmission under control, and it told me it was going to cut off. I wasn't expecting an audio warning, but the computer said that we were going to be turned off, so I was able to catch it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. We'll see y'all Monday. And until then, fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see y'all later.
All right, good night, Rusty.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Rusty.
Night, Trent.
Good night.
Charles.
Good night,
Good
Jeff.
night.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Show me your drawing.
I don't have the drawing yet, man. I just printed it. You want to see what was printed, but I don't have.
Yeah.